Hello friends, I'm Tim Wildsmith, and in this video we're going to be taking a closer look at the Immerse Reading Bible from the Institute for Bible Reading and Tyndale Bibles. Okay, I've got a really cool review for you today. This is the Immerse Reading Bible. My friends at Tyndale reached out to me and said, hey, can we send you this set called Immerse that we have? It's a reader's Bible. And I was like, yeah, I love reader's Bibles. Send it to me. So if you're not familiar with reader's Bibles, they're not all the same, but most of the time it's a Bible where verse numbers, chapter numbers, headings, references, all that stuff, footnotes, all of that is removed from the Bible. And it's, those things were added in, those weren't there when the Bible was written. They were added in so that we could study the Bible, so we could find our place, that sort of thing. All of that's removed with the goal to help you immerse yourself in the Bible. So this is one of their options, and I was like, cool, I'll check this out. So this showed up, I started digging into it, and they had mentioned that it was with the Institute for Bible Reading. Well, I started seeing that name written here in the book, and so I went to their website and found out this really cool organization called the Institute for Bible Reading, and I was like, man, they're the ones who came up with this idea and kind of developed this project. So I reached out to Alex Goodwin, who is their executive director, and we had a chat, and I got to ask a bunch of questions about this project, and so I wanted to share a little bit about that before I do the overhead and really show you this Bible. So the Institute for Bible Reading, it's a bunch of folks who are from like the Bible publishing world and the translation world, and they started this new organization, and really what they did was they looked at all this research. So we often think, the Bible in English has all of these different translations. It's the most accessible language for the Bible in the world. If you're an English speaker and an English reader, you have so many different options when it comes to the Bible, all of these different great publishers and translations. And yet, studies are being done and research shows that Bible engagement, Bible readership is on the decline in America, in English-speaking countries at large. I actually did a video last year about one of those studies, and it was called Who Reads the Bible, where I kind of looked at some of the data and tried to answer some of those questions and explore what that meant. Well, the folks at the Institute for Bible Reading saw all of that. They have their history in publishing and translation, and then they started asking the questions, what can we do to help that? So they create a lot of different resources for that, and I'm going to put a link in the description to their website so you can check them out and see what they do. But one of their ideas was the Immerse Bible, and said, hey, let's create an experience for people to read the Bible, to really dive in. And it's a lot like some readers' Bibles. They actually told me that they want the reader's Bible, that format that I talked about a minute ago, they want that to be just as popular as journaling Bibles, study Bibles, reference Bibles, those sorts of things. Those are all great Bibles. They love those. But they want the reader's Bible. They don't want it to be a gimmick. They want it to be something that everybody has a copy of and that they spend time just reading the Bible. Not only that, they want people to do it in community. This project is designed with the idea that you're going to do this with other people in your life. Maybe that's a small group from church, or your entire church. If you're a pastor, you get one of these and you study the Bible with people. They talked about how they wanted it to be almost like a book club with the Bible. So they've created conversation guides and resources and videos and a podcast, all of this stuff to help people dig in and immerse themselves together in the Bible. Here's the deal. I check out a lot of Bibles. I see a lot of different things from a lot of different publishers. This was really impressive to me. I really loved the heart behind it. Speaking to Alex was really cool, and it was encouraging to me to see there's this organization out there that really cares about people engaging meaningfully with the Bible, and they're trying to do something about it. And I think it's really cool. It's a cool project. It's these paperback editions of the Bible. The Bible is split up into 6 different volumes. They've now done a large print edition, which I really like. It's slightly bigger, and the font size is slightly larger. I know a lot of people care about that. So I wanted to do a review of this because they sent it to me, and I wanted to check it out. But also, as I got to know about the project, I was like, oh, this is really cool. I really like this idea of us coming together, reading the Bible together, and really truly immersing ourselves in Scripture. So before we dive into this overhead, I'm going to show you everything. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. As I go through this, if you have any questions, put those in the comments, and I will get back to you. This is the Immerse Reading Bible. Okay, here's the Messiah edition of Immerse. This is the entire New Testament. You see it's a paperback, real clean, squared off. Everything looks good. Nothing super fancy, but it's very nice. It feels nice in hand. It's got a little bit of a sheen to it on the cover. There you get a welcome on the back, and then it tells you down here what's in this copy. So as far as the size goes, this is 5 1/4 inches wide by 8.5, so a little bit over 5 and 8.5. It's right at just a hair under an inch thick on this one. Now, I mentioned that they did release a large print edition, so it's the exact same thing on the outside, same look, it's just slightly larger. So you bump up from 5.25 to 6, from 8.5 to 9. So it's slightly bigger. This one has, I'll show it to you now just so you can see it, it has just about a 10-point type size is what they say. So there's a page in Romans. Really comfortable to read. I measured it just a hair under 10 points, and then you jump up to closer to a 12-point type size on the large print edition. So you can see from left to right, it's not a huge difference, but it is pretty significant. When I'm sitting here holding this in my hand, this one doesn't feel too big for me, and I really do like the extra little pop of size on that. So anyway, so there's 6 different editions. So you have the entire New Testament comes in Messiah. In the Old Testament, Beginnings is going to be the first 5 books of the Old Testament. Kingdoms, I can go back here on the back. So Kingdoms is Judges, Ruth, and then 1st and 2nd Samuel, and 1st and 2nd Kings. Prophets is the prophets, split up into a few different sections. Poets is the book of poetry, split up into a few different sections. And then Chronicles is everything else. I think it's like Ezra, Nehemiah, Chronicles, Esther, Daniel, that sort of stuff. So you have 6 different editions. If I turn these sideways, you can see that's all of them. So they look really cool sitting on your shelf, and it's just different sections of Scripture kind of split up. So let me go back to Messiah and show you how this looks when I open it up. So give you a little card here, the quick start guide. It talks about how to use this, to use it in community, different things like that. Some of the resources from the Institute for Bible Reading, all of that stuff. And on the back you get an 8-week reading plan. There's a reading plan in the back of all of these too for different time periods. So opening it up, Immerse Bible, here's the copyright page, all that information if you want to freeze frame that and see it. They use the New Living Translation, so that's why it's published with Tyndale. So here's the content. So I want to note at this. So it doesn't just go straight through the New Testament. So here we have a section with Luke, Acts, and then all of the letters of Paul. So they're saying, hey, Luke wrote a lot about Paul. These are put together for a reason. Then you go down here. The Gospel of Mark is based largely on Peter's memoirs. So you have the Gospel of Mark with Peter, 1st and 2nd Peter, and Jude. Matthew, as focused on Jewish people and written to the Jewish people, is with James and Hebrews. Back here, the Gospel of John is with the letters, the epistles from John, and then you have Revelation in a separate section. I like that. It's kind of mixing it up. It's doing it in a little bit different way, but it gives you the page numbers if you're looking for something specific, and then you have some additional material at the end. So this is a welcome to Immerse, kind of getting you set up with the whole project, an introduction to this book, which is the New Testament, and then each book of the Bible has this little section. It's basically a book intro. So it says Immersed in Luke, Acts. For those of you wondering why is Luke, Acts put together, well, that's because Luke wrote both of them, and historically Luke and Acts have often been paired together. So here's the text itself, a title page, or a title, really nice little design there, and then you get right in. You notice there are no verse numbers, there are no chapter numbers, there are no section headings, there are no cross-references or textual notes. It's just the text of the Bible. But something I really like, if I go to this page right here, you notice in the very top corner here it says 142 through 66. So we're in Luke, Acts, and you can find it over here on this page. It says 1:19 or 18 through 41. So if you say, hey, I want to pick up at a certain place, you can see right here, very faint, out of the way, you can find what you are. That's going to tell you the text that you're going to find on this page. Otherwise, you're just free to immerse yourself in this Bible. Again, you can also flip it open and go, okay, open here, where am I? Well, that's Mark 8, 4 through 23 on this page right here. So you can kind of place yourself, or if you're reading something and you think, hey, I want to go find my study Bible and do a little bit of digging later on, you can kind of note where you are in the Bible. But other than that, it's just a very, very beautiful, comfortable. Again, this is about a 10-point type size, Arno Pro, very classic. It feels to me like I'm reading one of my favorite novels. The paper is very opaque. It's a 40-pound paper, so there's no bleed through from the other side. Again, very, very simple. This is the New Testament divided up in a slightly different way with book introductions and then the text of Scripture. Pretty simple, straightforward. Now, when I get to the end of Revelation, we'll show you what they have at the back. And most of these editions have similar stuff. So there's an article here called the stories and the story, how the Bible works. Just information about the Bible, generic, pretty straightforward. If you're new to the Bible, if you're getting into it for the first time, this is really great. But also, for some of us who've grown up in it, sometimes we miss some things and we need to go back. There's an introduction to the Immerse as a whole, the literary forms of the Bible. That's an article in here as well. So it tells you about prose and poetry. There's the note to the New Living Translation readers. You do get some, look at that, you get some maps in there. Those look really nice. There you have for this one, this is just for this one, an 8-week reading plan for the New Testament. There's a 16-week reading plan for the New Testament. Love that. And then the information about all of the other books. So you get all these in here, and it's going to do the same thing. So if I go to beginnings, same idea, open it up. It's got your information in there about your reading plan and everything. And then for this one, they just kept it straight through. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. But then you get some of that same stuff. The 8-week reading plan, the 16-week reading plan, the literary forms of the Bible. That's all the exact same stuff. But then they do have a couple of special maps. So there's a map for Exodus. I'm actually reading Exodus right now. And so it's good to have some of that stuff in there. But same overall design. And then here is the large print edition. Exactly the same as the other one I showed you. Just slightly bigger typeface. Everything else is the same. So really, really cool. We're giving you some different options of the Bible. We're reading in depth, and then obviously, as I mentioned earlier, they have on their website commentaries. They have a podcast, not commentaries, but conversation guides. They have a podcast. They have reading plans. All this different stuff, and it's all kind of created for you to dig deep with people in community. I really like this project, and I think that the physical form of it here looks really great. So there you have it. That's the Immerse Reading Bible. As far as the physical product goes, I really like this. It looks great. It feels great in hand. It's nothing crazy. It's not expensive. It's not like over the top, but it really does what it's trying to do, which, as I said earlier, is this bigger picture look at Bible engagement, reading the Bible, doing so in community, and having other resources built up to help us do just that. I'm really impressed with the Institute for Bible Reading. Thank you so much to Alex Goodwin for sitting down with me and helping me understand more about this project. I think it's really awesome. Again, I'm going to put a link in the description of this video if you want to check them out and learn more about what they're doing. If you have any questions, leave those in the comments and I will get back to you. You can also find me in Bible Review Blog on Instagram and Facebook. I'd love to connect with you there. And before you go, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, check out the other videos that I have here on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.